Now, if you're worried like I was about what's going on there, I'll show you what's going on. Because no bastard on YouTube covered this until I did. Because I couldn't find it. They're your studs. You got these bolts here which go into the disc. Those bolts go in those holes. That's what that caper is. It's got nothing to do with, you know, those studs. This whole hub stays right where it is. Well, I think I have to pull the bearings, I don't know. Oh, these discs aren't too bad until you stick your finger on there and they're still serviceable. You could machine those to get that. I like these little dimples. And my pads? Where are my pads? Plenty of meat on them. They're actually pretty damn good, but you know what? Putting these on. And I know a bloke who's got an RC Colorado. This is an RA Rodeo. One of those ones with those headlights. Same deal, same setup. And I know because we always sit back here and play with our cars. So, if you really needed me to hold your hand to show you how to jack your car up and take the wheels off and get to this point, really this is not for you. This is for those who know what they're doing. But in saying that, lefty loosey, righty tighty, both sides. This isn't a truck, front and back. Left to loosen, right to tighten. And yeah, just when you put your nuts back on, put a bit of grease on there. You know, that kind of business. If you don't know all that stuff already, this is too advanced for you to watch. But you can watch it anyway. It's just, I recommend you go to a mechanic if this is beyond you, jacking your car up and getting your wheels off. But if you're keen, put some questions in and I'll try and answer them. If you're keen enough to still attack this, even with no knowledge of what you're doing, just based off what you've looked at on YouTube, I'll try and help you out. Anyway, I'm going to start pulling this apart. I've never done this car, so what I discover is what I will tell you. So bear with me. To get the brakes off, it's usually just a few bolts and the whole unit comes apart virtually, and some pins and stuff. But I'll do it here and then tell you what I found. Righto, so bear with me. Quick tip, turn the wheel. You seem to get more things. Oh, one thing you got to do, go upstairs, go to your master cylinder and take the cap off, or at least loosen it, but just take it off. Why? What you'll have to do when you, or I should be able to get this part here off and out the way, not swinging on the brake line, but probably put the hook up here somewhere and hooking this onto it, because with the new pads there's more meat on them, and I'll have to, okay, there's more meat on the disc and the pad is going to be a tight fit. Push the piston, well, take the cap off, push the pistons out all the way, because you're going to have to start again. And when you put this all back on, it's gentle. In case I forget to say this later on, don't just get in the car and put your foot on the brake. Do it gradually, just very gently do it, you know. You won't need to bleed your brakes, you won't have air in the line. You don't touch, I'll stress this now, don't crack your lines, leave them alone. Take the cap off your master cylinder and push these pistons back. The the fluid will trace back up the lines, and you will need to gently work your brakes to equalize the, to center everything and equalize everything. Once you've done that, and then you've worked them a bit, engine's running, of course. Start the car first, because you want that. You want the help from the the booster and all that stuff. Once you've got that sorted, then go ahead and go for a drive and check your brakes. But these pads apparently don't need to be bedded in, these Bendix pads, but the discs have. Let's go have a look at them, shall we? There's a protective oily residue on the disc. You can probably see that. I don't have brake cleaner. I don't. But, and I'm not telling you to, I would tell you now to go and buy brake cleaner, because it cleans that off and goes to a clean finish. It evaporates off. I've got different cleaners and stuff that eat oil, eat grease. I'd have to wipe them off, but yeah, I'm not going to tell you to do what I do, so I won't even show you what I use to clean them with, because if I do something wrong, I don't want you to do the same thing. But I'll go with the best idea I can come up with that makes sense to me. Anyway, into it, I suppose. On to the next chapter. So that's sitting up there on the wishbone, I think it's called. 2 bolts. There was that one there, and that one there. They're identical, and both ugly, so I'll clean them up. So now what I have is 2 brake pads. What I can do before I go beyond the point of return with this repair job, as annoying as this may seem, if I have got a wrong part, I can put this back together and continue getting myself to and from work. That would piss me off. That would piss you off. But we're worried about the shape of the part at the back, and that doesn't resemble this, does it? Well, 2 pistons have to push on the back. Don't ask me why that's got the tab and that's got a different shape. I really don't know. I don't know. Look, let me open the packet and compare these. Now, they seem to be right, except for a few points which look different. But I have my concerns. I cross-referenced everything with the seller to make sure I had the right pads. Alright. Yep, alright, let's have a look. Well, these pads are flat, so I could probably use these pads on the new discs, because they're flat. They're still flat. I can go into a brake shop this week Yep. I guaranteed the wheel bearings that I bought would be wrong too. I'm not even going to open them. They're open. I'll go to the seller and say, look, they weren't installed on the car. I'll let you know how that goes. Anyway, in the comments. That's money wasted. That was cross-referenced. I dare say the wheel bearings are the same. So I will say to the seller, you've sent me the wrong bearings and you've sent me the wrong brake pads. Your stuff up. And it will be a PayPal dispute and claim if they don't, you know, do the right thing by me. But these discs came from a different seller and they look to be right. Well, so far I can still go back, but if I do, I'll get all my money back for this. And yeah, but you'll see how it all goes together anyway, or comes apart. Those two bolts, pads come out. I saw a guy, I don't know if you follow Chris Fix. If you do, yeah, you'll know that he tells you to put grease in here, in those runners, which is a bit concerning, but he tells you to do it. It's what he does. I'm assuming he's qualified to know. I'm not a qualified mechanic. I'm just a backyardie. Ooh, just felt that. Ooh, big lip on the back. Yeah. Feel the back of the disc too, not just the front. These discs are going. I'm going to make sure that these are nice and flat, and they are. And I'll put them back on, those other discs. They only run for a week or so. This week I'll go in and I will buy new pads from a shop. You know, that's what a job's for. Yeah. Hey, maybe they're for a TF. If they're for a TF Rodeo, that's what my dad drives. And for those not knowing what a TF Rodeo is, it's this shape. That guy there. Well, and later ones too, but let's see. See if I can damn it. Try the other side. Does that look familiar or what? That funny shape. Those brake pads are for this Rodeo. That's alright then. Yeah. I won't get me money back. I'll put those on here. You know, Dad can't say I don't do nothing for him. Oh well, back to the car.